Today's carrier networks have evolved to become much more complex than they've been in the past. They're now constructed of both traditional transport networks as well as data center networks, and the companies need to now build services from the data center to a data center across that transport layer in the middle. And as such, they need to have network management tools for each of those different segments and people for those different segments as well to build those services. With the coming of SDN, SDN is going to allow for a multi-technology control of the networks. So now you can take a network and you can construct services that transition across multiple different technologies, across the data center, across the transport plane, configuring routers, configuring switches, configuring the transport fiber optic gear, all holistically out of one system, and that is the SDN system. So SDN is an enabler of simplification of management of networks, because that complex nature that needs to be managed by multiple different systems and diverse users can now be put under the umbrella of one single system and have an easy end-to-end creation of services. You know, there's a lot of discussion in the industry today about what's the right controller to use to manage your network. And I think really the important question is how do you construct your network? What goes into building your SDN solution? If you architect your SDN solution appropriately, whether you're looking at Open Daylight or Floodlight or one of the other controllers that's out there, that's not really the most important decision. The important part is, what are the applications? What are you actually going to use in your network, and how can you build those? Given that the controllers will have an open API infrastructure to plug the applications in, it shouldn't really matter which controller you choose. It's more important to make sure that you have good applications that can provide functionality across the network. Don't worry about the controller. Get your architecture right and get a good application. Fujitsu has multiple proof of concepts that they're developing globally. One of the interesting aspects that we've discovered when building our proof of concepts is our dynamic restoration tool is actually functioning at a level much greater than we ever would have thought. The reconvergence of the network using a path computation engine in an SDN tool, in an SDN controller, is able to do restoration in times that are surprisingly fast. Now, it's still not optimized and the times are not what they could be in the end, but what we've seen in the proof of concept is giving us great hope that we can see restoration times that are unrivaled in other dynamic restoration environments such as GMPLS or IPGMPLS. Fujitsu is uniquely positioned to deliver SDN solutions because Fujitsu as a company is not just a provider of transport equipment. They're not just a provider of telecom infrastructure. Fujitsu as a company has tremendous resources and knowledge in all different areas of networking, and those include both the telecommunication industry, the networking industry, specifically the data center. We have a network integrations team, and we have services that support those functions. When you combine all of these aspects, Fujitsu is unrivaled in the industry.